Hello all, welcome to the first devlog I am making for a Roblox game where essentially it's an open parkour playground. The game itself started live when I wanted to essentially take a little break from the skateboarding game I'm making, Skate World, and I wanted to make a quick little project, essentially a side-scrolling parkour game, which you can see now on screen. Apologise for the mobile phone footage, but like all things, I got more and more different ideas, so now it's sort of become more open world, and the idea is to add more and more parkour tricks into it. So the first thing I started with was safety rolls and dive rolls, which was essentially brought over from when the game was a side-scroller. At the moment, currently the game only has controller support, so if you want to activate the roll, you have to press the X button on the controller. This allows you to take a bigger impact from a fall. If you don't press the roll button in time, you do end up crashing and bouncing all over the floor. For the basic trick mechanics, I wanted to try and take influence from Skate, so I really like the idea of using the analog stick to flick and control the character. So the first movement I implemented with the analog stick was the dive roll. As I saw, I already had the roll animation, like I said, from the side scroller. So when you're in the air, if you flick the right analog up, you automatically go into a dive, and then when you land on the floor, you automatically roll out. The next thing I want to work on was vaults, so different ways to get over walls. Continuing to use the flick mechanics, I wanted to be able to flick in different directions to control different vaults. So if you flick up, you do a Kong vault. If you flick down, you do a dash vault. If you flick left, you do a speed vault to the left. If you flick right, you do a speed vault to the right. I also wanted to try and figure out a way to create twists. So if you flick the analog around in a circle, depending on which way you flick and which side of the analog you start with, you put different hands down and spin in different directions. Now I'd created a few different vault mechanics, I'd also thought it'd be a good idea to try and combine the dive from before into a vault. So if you jump and flick the analog up, starting the dive roll, instead of landing on the floor, if you land on the edge of a wall, the player would automatically Kong vault out. So to round off this devlog, I wanted to add flips to the game, as I believe all good parkour games should probably include some flips. So I started with front flips. I've added two different variations of front flips. The first of being, when you're in the air, if you hold the left trigger and flick up on the analog, you perform a front flip. The second of which is a variation of a front flip called a Webster. I thought it'd be a good idea to try and include this from the ground, as your takeoff would be from running. And then finally, I thought I'd try and add a flip from a vault, so I thought it'd be cool to add a move called a Congainer. So if you flick up on the analog and also then flick down very quickly as you've approached the wall, you'll perform a Congainer out of the vault. You can also do this if you dive into the Kong. Thank you for checking out this first devlog of this parkour game. If you've got any ideas of names to potentially call this, currently the working title is just Parkour Playground, but I'm open to any suggestions. Also, if you've got any ideas of moves or tricks you'd like to see in the game, please let me know. I've also provided links to Skate World if you want to check it out in the description. Stay tuned for any further updates.